Tully here from Tully's Training. Hope you're having a wonderful week. I'm really excited about what we're going to talk about today because it's one of my favorite subjects. And the reason why it's one of my favorite subjects is because it's really, really, really important information that everybody should know, especially people that have puppies or no puppies or have seen a puppy, which pretty much covers everybody. So today we are going to talk about how to stop and puppy biting and teach good bite inhibition. And Kai is my sidekick in the back. He is very much for what we're talking about today. He's excited. He's feeling good. We just got back from the walk, so he is pooped. But all right, so puppy biting and teaching good bite inhibition is such an important thing to talk about. It's really, really important information to know. And a lot of people really don't know much about the subject. So today we're going to talk about what puppy biting actually is, what bite inhibition is, how to teach your puppy bite inhibition, and why that's so incredibly, crucially important. And I have some notes down here, so if you see me looking down, that's why, because I want to make sure that I cover all my bases today. I don't want to leave anything out because this is so, so, so important. So why do puppies bite all the time? There have been studies that have been done about what puppies do all day, and they pretty much eat, sleep, and bite. They bite anything that they have access to, whether it's, skin of a dog, skin of humans, hair. I've had lots of puppies bite my hair, furniture, plants, sticks, boxes of cigarettes. When he was a puppy, he was obsessed with finding and chewing up boxes of cigarettes, like on the street. It's very weird. But, they really do put their teeth on pretty much every single thing. They just put everything in their mouth. It's exhausting. If you've ever been lucky enough to have a puppy decide that they want to munch on your foot or your hand or your arm, you know that it hurts. It does not feel good when they do that. And, the reason they have these, usually if you have a puppy that's going to chew on you and you're going to feel pain, it's because at that point they have what a lot of people call needle teeth. So dogs get 2 sets of teeth in their life. They get the first set when they're little. The teeth are very little and sharp, and they're kind of almost like translucent, like you can kind of see through them. And eventually they fall out and they get their adult set of teeth in. So dogs get 2 sets of teeth in their entire life. And part of the reason why the theory is that they have those teeth that are so sharp when they're little is because they need to learn this skill, this muscle memory. It's not even really a skill, this muscle memory that is called bite inhibition. So, excuse me, come here. Come here. Hi. Are you going to keep us so safe from our neighbor? Why don't you come down here? Just take your book. So, bite inhibition essentially means it's essentially muscle memory. So you want to have a puppy practice using their teeth. They have those sharp little needle teeth, biting all different types of textures and things that are alive or things that are not alive, while they have those teeth that are very sharp before their jaw muscles develop. So kind of the way it works is they get a really intense reaction if they put their teeth on, skin that's attached to another dog or a cat or a horse or a person, because their teeth are really, really sharp. But beyond, kind of like some scratches, like some kind of just really superficial stuff, they can't really do any damage yet because their jaw muscles haven't developed in yet. Whereas their second set of teeth are a lot more blunt. They're not quite as sharp, but once they have those jaw muscles in, if you've ever seen a dog kind of go through like a raw bone, like this guy back here, you realize, holy crap, now they can really do some damage. So the kind of idea is to have them learn how to use their jaws when they're going to get really strong responses, but they're not going to actually be able to really do much damage yet. And you want them to kind of learn how to use those teeth and those jaws in regards to skin before their jaw muscles grow in, and then they could actually take flesh and muscle off of bone, which is what their teeth are designed to do. If you didn't know that, your dogs are carnivores. So, they kind of need to learn, this stuff really, really, really well. And it's not so much, do you have like a nice dog or a mean dog, really? That's not really what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is muscle memory. So if you have kind of an example story that I've actually heard from Dr. Ian Dunbar, this is a really kind of convoluted version of it. I was at a seminar of his, was, you have a really sweet dog that is like, a golden retriever and does therapy dog work and is just like the sweetest, biggest mushball ever. Going and getting loaded into a car and a car backfires, the dog gets scared, whips around and puts his teeth on his owner and causes some really serious damage. Not because the dog was mean, but because the dog didn't learn proper bite inhibition. Whereas you have a Rottweiler who you step on his toe, your stiletto goes through his foot, and he turns around to put his teeth on your leg and there's just saliva because he did learn that muscle memory. So it's not necessarily a good dog versus bad dog thing. It's just how much practice are they getting during this really critical developmental phase. Now, if you've had a puppy who spent the proper amount of time with their siblings and with their mom, 8 to 12 weeks, then you've had a lot of the work kind of done for you. That's one problem that we see with a lot of puppies that are pulled from their little litter too early, is they don't get a chance to practice biting their siblings and getting feedback for that. So a lot of times those puppies end up being a lot more mouthy. So kind of the way that, their first kind of introduction to learning this skill is going to happen, like I just mentioned, in their litter with their siblings, hopefully. So kind of the way that it'll work if you've ever watched puppies play is, you have two puppies playing and they're having a really great time. And puppy A bites puppy B a little too hard. So puppy B, ouch, yelps. They kind of stop for a second and look at each other. And then they'll usually go right back to playing. Now, if puppy A continues to bite puppy B with too much pressure, eventually puppy B is like, peace out, man. I'm not playing with you anymore. You're kind of mean and you hurt and I don't want to feel pain when I'm playing with you. That's no fun. So then puppy A learns, oh man, I need to learn how to be gentle when I'm playing with my siblings, with my teeth, because I don't want this game to stop. I want to keep playing. And they'll also typically have interactions like that with mom. So they're playing with mom, maybe they're like licking mom's ears, that's a common one that I've seen, and then all of a sudden they try to sample something, they put a little pressure down with those teeth, and mom lets baby know real quick, no, that's not going to happen. If you want to snuggle and be cuddly and be sweet, that's great, but if you put your teeth on me, I'm not going to lay here with you. I'm going to get up out of this box and go lay on the other side of the room where I can take a nap. So they're kind of starting to lay the groundwork. But when you bring a puppy home, you are essentially taking home the role of their surrogate parent and really their sibling mates or their litter mates. So it's up to you to kind of take that torch and continue onward with it. So there's kind of some pretty simple methods. Again, this is loosely based off of, a puppy biting article and a lot of literature that's been written by Dr. Ian Dunbar. If you've never heard of him, he's a veterinary behaviorist and he's fabulous. I've been to several of his seminars and I've read a lot of his stuff and he's really great. So this is kind of loosely based off of his techniques. But essentially, you kind of want to have two phases to teaching your puppy how to use their jaws properly in regards to skin. So phase one is you want to address the pressure that your puppy is using on skin, and phase two is you want to address the frequency at which they're putting their teeth on you at all. It is so critically important that before you teach your puppy to not put their teeth on your skin, first you teach them how to be gentle, and you give them that time to learn how to be gentle when they do put their teeth on your skin. That is the difference between the dog who gets stepped on, whips around, and you just have some saliva on your pants, versus the dog who gets startled and turns around and now you have to go to the emergency room because you have a gaping wound on your arm. So that is super, super critically important phase to make sure that you give yourself time for. Kind of the old school way of dealing with puppy biting was if a dog put their teeth on you at all, then they got in trouble. They might get their mouth held closed and told no. They might get a pop on the nose or a timeout or a spray bottle or cans or a coin with cans in it. And essentially the biggest problem with that is that you're not giving them that time to learn that bite inhibition, that muscle memory. So sometimes that works out okay if they got a really great introduction to that from their litter mates, but you really want to be safe. It's really better to be safe than sorry in this situation and to be really thorough. So that's why we use a two-phase training system. So phase one, pretty simple. Basically, all you want your puppy to learn is if they put their teeth on your skin and they're gentle, that's cool. You can even praise them for it. If they put their teeth on your skin and they apply pressure and bite down, then you're going to go into your 3 strikes, you're out. So they do it one time, you're going to let out a loud yelp, ouch! Pull your hands back, become kind of a tree, but you're still kind of sitting down. You don't look at them, you don't want to give them any attention, you're not going to say no, you're not going to yell at them, nothing. You're just going to completely ignore them, look away, and you are going to count to 5. After 5 seconds, okay, cool, everything's great again. Let's keep playing. Play, play, play. They do it a second time, you're going to stand up, and you're going to be a tree. You're going to do that for another 5 to 10 seconds, and then then you're going to go back to playing. If they do it a third time, then all you're going to do is very quietly, you're not going to make a big fuss. Again, we're not going to yell. The reason why we're not yelling is because a lot of times puppies can find yelling and tussling and all that stuff reinforcing, so you could be accidentally reinforcing them, and they could be mistaking your scolding as play. So that's why you just say nothing, because we want to make sure we're not giving them anything that's reinforcing for this behavior. So again, they put their teeth and they bite down a third time, you're going to yelp, ouch! And you're going to step outside of their space for 5 to 10 seconds. Or maybe even up to a minute if they are getting really wound up and they need time to calm down. So it's not, we're not angry, because guess what? Your puppy is an infant. It's a baby. And they're supposed to be doing this. So we are guiding them through this process. But we're not mad at them because there's nothing to be mad at. Your puppy's not being bad. It's just being a puppy that is trying to figure out this really important skill that its brain is telling it to navigate. So we're not mad because they're not trying to be bad. They're not trying to do anything. They're not trying to make you upset. And also, just a side note, if you're feeling upset and angry, which totally I've been there, you walk into the kitchen in the morning and your puppy immediately comes up and just sinks their teeth into your calf. That sucks. If you're feeling pissed off, take a break, walk away, and remember that your puppy is an infant, and it's a non-human infant. So there's really, you got to just be really patient and expect that they're going to do this, because this is what they're supposed to be doing. So essentially, what you should start to see over time is that your puppy learns, maybe after the second kind of warning or the second kind of ouch, strike 2, they might kind of start to figure out, oh, okay, I got to calm down here, because if I don't, they're going to leave, and I don't want them to leave. So you should start to kind of see some improvement. Now, with a lot of puppies, strikes 1, 2, and 3 might happen within a very short amount of time, because as soon as you remove that attention, they might kind of come around and, grab you, because they're like, let's do this. Now I'm frustrated. Why aren't you playing with me? Hello? And essentially, you want to, again, if they come around and grab you when you're trying to do, your strike 2, then go straight to strike 3 and leave. You just want to teach them that no matter what they do, if they escalate and they bark at you, or they bite harder, or they grab your shirt or whatever, you're not going to engage with them. That's kind of like them pitching a little fit. And that's not the behavior that they need to give you in order to get attention. Whereas, if they immediately calm down and sit, or go grab a toy or some type of behavior that you love, reinforce them like crazy, because we want to not only teach them what not to do, we want to teach them what they should do. So you want to make sure your feedback is going both ways. So once you have, your puppy is showing you that they're understanding the concept of being gentle with your skin, and the way that they're going to show you that is by putting their teeth on you and being really gentle consistently. So maybe for a week to 2 weeks. That's when we're going to move on to phase 2. So phase 2, again, is essentially teaching them that humans are really, really sensitive, and they really can't put their teeth on you at all. Or if they do, they can't put any pressure, because humans are so sensitive and they just get injured really, really easily. So you're going to kind of do the same thing. Instead of waiting for them to put their teeth on you and bite pressure, as soon as they put their teeth on you at all, that's when you're going to do your strike 1, ouch, and you're going to kind of go through strike 1, strike 2, strike 3 again. So essentially, you should end up with a dog that understands whenever they're interacting with people, they have to be very careful, because people are very sensitive. So it's really, really important to go through both of those phases. Like I said, there's a couple other ways that you can kind of help to reduce your puppy's biting and teething. Number 1 is, do not present your hands as chew toys. is a chew toy, okay? Where's another one? We got one over here. This is a chew toy. Do you see what this looks like? Do you want your hands to look like that? No. Dogs need to chew on stuff. You need to present them with things that they can chew on as opposed to only giving them stuff that they can't. If you play with your puppy and you're constantly doing this and having them chase your hands around, and then they chase your hand and think, oh, does that look fun? They chase your hand, they put their teeth on it, and they get in trouble. That's really, really not fair. So you want to make sure that if you're wanting to play with your puppy, just use a bone instead. And that way, when they bite on the bone, now you can play tug of war, and you can just have a really, really fun time. So do not present your hands as chew toys. It's not fair. You're not setting your dog up for success, and you're not setting yourself up for success because your hands are going to be mutilated by those puppy teeth. It's going to hurt like heck. The next thing is be really careful with how you touch your dog. I'm going to actually do a demonstration with Kai. So if I go into Kai and I'm just, oh my God, do you hear him growling? He's getting all amped up. And where is that stimulation coming from? My hands. So I'm showing him, this is how we interact. We're rough and tumble. I'm going to grab you. So what's he going to do? He's going to turn around and grab me because dogs are mirrors of our behavior. So you really want to make sure that when you're presenting your hands, especially to a puppy that's learning, how to use their teeth properly, that you teach them that hands are gentle. So when hands touch, we're very careful and we're very sweet and we're very soft. And in comparison, when a toy comes out, oh, that's when it's really fun and crazy. So they learn the difference between when we just have hands and when we have a toy. And that's really important because you're kind of teaching them different levels of interacting, which, is important to teach a puppy. So another thing that's just kind of really helpful is to play with your puppy, especially if you have a young puppy that's really in the throes of learning all this stuff. You can teach them or play with them instead of a playpen. So that way, if you need to make an escape, you can just step out of the playpen. It's really easy. If you need to do kind of your strike 3 timeout and they have the run of the house, it can be a lot more challenging. So kind of keeping them in a confined space in the beginning when they're learning, how to play properly is really helpful. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Please check out the blog post. It goes into everything we've talked about in more detail. And, please share this with anybody that you know that has a puppy because this information is just so, so, so important. It's going to make the difference between a dog that can live their life in a home with a family versus a dog that has to be put to sleep. And, it's an important life skill. And if you aren't up for teaching a puppy how to do this, totally fine, no problem. Get a puppy that's older than 6 months old. That way, this has already kind of been done. You're already through it, and you don't have to worry about kind of going through it yourself. So that's all we have for today. Can you say goodbye? Can you just say goodbye? Oh, you said a good boy. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy this gorgeous fall weather that seems to be coming in all over the country, and we will see you next week with more videos on our blog posts. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a really, really great day.